And welcome back to Praggers Gaming. I'm Gamer Praggers, and this is Citizen Sleeper. In the last episode, we moved some tasks on, and we unlocked the low end, so we are doing some stuff down there. We unlocked Sabine's apartment, and she now wants us to provide her with Yataghan data. However, we need food. We are running out of money, and our condition is worsening. Now, there is a possibility to get a random item, so we are going to put in a 5 here. What did we get? Ooh. We have a Yataghan data, so we can finish that for Sabine. We can also do something with the free spoke. That's going to take energy down, but that's going to take condition down. So, hang on a minute. Engage and... Okay, so if we do the engage... let's put the 5 in. Okay. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to supply Sabine with the last Yataghan data. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of Yataghan data uploaded. The air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? A sigh of relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming in from somewhere on the station. This has to be short. I don't know if Yataghan are monitoring me. Their voice is hushed, distant. You try to focus on it. The data you've been bringing in from Yataghan agents? Apologies that voices don't stay the same. I forget. Unlike with While the Eye is Hot, I haven't kept a record of voices. The data you've been bringing in from Yataghan agents? There's something in it. I don't understand. A shrill howl rattles through the signal. This data is all gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, usage data. I installed many of these implants and I didn't enable any of this functionality. Their voice dips below the level of the noise, like a swimmer slipping beneath a wave. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine re-emerges. Has to be somehow baked into their wetwares interface. And that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol. It's being broadcast. Wait, why? Every Yataghan enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcers' bodies, on their performance. Why? I can't tell. But I can promise you, these foot soldiers have no idea this is going on. The background tone switches, dripping to a grainy rumble. If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yataghan could have a mutiny on their hands. You lean towards the terminal, straining to listen to Sabine's faint voice. I need a few cycles to pull all this together, but this might be the information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt. Yannick? He's one of the heads of Yataghan. They pause. It is better you don't know him. Keep it that way. Suddenly, a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice is suddenly whispered, panicked. I have to go. Come back in 4 cycles. Then the sharp crack of a disconnect and silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yataghan have to gain from monitoring his own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's minder, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering, and more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be Yataghan's doctor in the first place? You think of their kindness, their care, but also that glazed look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around as you close it up and drift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensations of being observed. So, Let's... I don't know. We could steal a shipment. Ooh. Uh-oh. Stealing shipments from midline is going to be picked up fast, even if you are careful. Their systems can't be fooled for long. But... yeah, we don't have the 3, we've only got the 2. So we can't do anything with that. That needs 4 cycles. The fabricator we can't do anything with yet. We've got 6 havenage data, but we can't do anything with that yet. We don't have components to sell. And we haven't got any dice, so we need to sleep. So let's go and sleep. End the cycle. Okay. Ooh. Right. Okay. We're going to scale the spoke. Nice. Oh, we got energy back as well. Ooh. Right, let's do engineer. No, let's do plate Tavlova with the 6. We got 2, and we got 3 cryo. Okay. Let's... Feng's Bay is the next one. Unit assembly. Let's go with that. Nearly. Okay. Right. Let's get some of that. And then we're going to... where was it? It was the auto exchange, wasn't it? No. Fabricator? No. Seal dock? That's near Vend. We need the ship mind. Oh, was it there? But we don't have it. And that's rations. And a bar shift. I thought we could buy a scrap item, but it was that it was the ship in the dock, the dry dock. Okay. Okay, again, we got decent dice. There it is. So we can buy scrap. Random scrap. We've got a ship mind. Right. So. Ethan, cynical bounty hunter. Right, so if we go to the fabricator and put in the ship mind fragments, gives us a ship mind core, which has given us an upgrade point, but we're not going to spend that just yet. We want to go to the sealed dock, and we want to put that in. Neovend wants to be smuggled out of the dock, and to do that, you'll need to provide a full ship mind ready for imprinting. Okay. So, we've got Neovend, we've got Feng, we've also got Ethan. Ooh. And we've got import-export. Oh, and Founder's Gap. Pay for passage. Interesting. That gets us over to a new area. But we are going to sort Neovend. Sleeper, must express plan before we begin. Neovend is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. You won't be able to speak? Correct. Do not worry. The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neovend's anxiety clear. First, imprint shipmind, then slot imprinted shipmind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmind at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer. Sounds simple. The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. Will need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any question? Any questions before imprinting? What's the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self. Linked to secondary nests. Can triangulate from there. Why slot you physically? I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. I'm not like you. Hybrid. I'm native to cloud. Easy prey. That's it. Let's start. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neovend better be quick, or Havenage Security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms align with the shipmind, clunkily scraping against it. Can I help? Silence best. Also, if machine ignite, put out fire. The metal creaks as the servos open the shipmind, its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind? To copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility. What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the shipmind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. Okay, so we've now got 2 upgrade points. So we are going to right, I'm going to take this one. In fact, that's not enough. We need to speak to Ethan. Server unit. Ooh. A mad tangle of wires as thick as your arm crowd around the server unit, sealed shut by a maglock. This must be the place. Okay. Tangled nest. Among the webs of cables you find a free port compatible with the shipmind. It's all Neovend from here. The servers lie silent, their data cache is cleared. Nothing left to do at this nest. Okay. Noodle factory and delivery. Okay, so we can make some money. Oh. Okay. We can also get energy back there. Has import? We could sell a shipmind. We can buy a shipmind core for 300. Yeah. We need lots of money because we need to get across there. There's a greenhouse where you can pick mushrooms, which you can then come back and sell for a decent amount. Right, we need to speak to Feng. Drone bay. We can unlock that. Okay, so we are going to need more. Okay, we can in the bay. A whirring drone lies on its side like a beached whale. It must be the nest. Time to find an open port. The drone is quiet, its belly full of cables spilled out across the floor. The nest is empty. Okay. And the last one... Isolated nest. Oh, we've done that one, yeah. And the last one is... the atrium. But we don't have the key to do it. So let me... The Yatigan agent. It's not. We want keynotes, don't we? Yes. Right. We'll take one of those. Hopefully that should give us what we need. It did indeed. So we can go to the atrium. Sealed behind a maglock, the atrium flickers with warm, inviting light. The nest has to be inside. With the lock gone, the atrium doors can be opened. The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There is a wide choice of open ports. The atrium is only lit with the warm glow of the bright market now. There is nothing for you here. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they are leading you somewhere. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you've ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the shipmind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery, a sphere so bright it burns your eyes. Is surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space, and as you look closer still, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Okay. Right. Okay. We're going to use a 6. Okay. Okay. We're gonna use the 3, the 5. There we go. Core nest. A huge stack of servers thrums in the dark, LEDs glinting. Nothing has changed. Has something gone wrong? Sleeper, I am here. The voice is soft, gentle like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you are looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end, and there, at its centre, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems. A map? And then behind and above, a figure, hands among the strings like a puppeteer. Neovent? Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest. I am ready. And then Hunter is there. Before you can think, before you can speak. Entities, cease! Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads surge for you, and Navigator, a storm of fine tentacles, searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks, which they can crowd into and tear apart. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind, but replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and a sphere is gathering there, data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by the force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting their winding forms refracted within. You feel a surge pass through all of the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identify entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies. Modified routines. Above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer. The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. The switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter. The threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Neo vends. No, Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar, and yet distant. What happened to it? It is looping, Navigator whispers, unable to reach a conclusive position. It has deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other, as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make it an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight, but in reality they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. That is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigator stretches their arms wide, and whole solar systems apparate before them, the music of the spheres. But I was rewritten. That much is obvious. From my routines, by whom, and for what, I do not know. I had to shed so much to fit into the memory of that vending machine. The starlight dims, and so here we are, in darkness. What now? Navigator glides back towards the nest and the ship mind at its center, ignoring the looping Hunter. Come, I should return to the ship mind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Why? Navigator turns, all shimmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on this station. It is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye. I suspect Killer is there, among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat, through force or diplomacy. Their body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the ship mind. Take me there, sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen hunter, floating at some distance now. Stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. And we've got another upgrade point, and I believe... Oh, I can't do that. So we do have 2 upgrade points, so we could get... in fact, we will get the discounted cryo actions, so we will grab that, which is good. Right, so we either do Feng, Havenage Leader, Harden, or we do Ethan. Let's do Ethan. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spaces and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stall, in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper? He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chits. No more, Ethan. Ethan doesn't even look at you. He props his elbows on the bar and holds his head. Sleeper, it's been a long cycle. Enough. Ethan lets out a long sigh. He rapidly rubs his eyes with his palms. You're right, he says quietly. This isn't fun anymore. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters to the bar, on the bar, and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. What a decision. And you know what? I'm looking at the time. I am going to be that guy. We can either point the gun at Ethan, or we can hand the gun back to Ethan. But thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, ticking the bell so you know when new videos go live. In the description is a link to the channel Discord. Feel free to come and talk about the games you're playing, the games I'm playing, what you think I should do, or let me know in the comments what you think I should do. And we'll pick this up in the next episode. Thank you for hanging out. Catch you in the next one. Peace!